Hello, everybody, and welcome to ViiV Healthcare's latest cabaret for the HIV movement. Tonight, the category is Inspire. ViiV Healthcare is committed to changing the way HIV is seen and using arts and culture to connect, inspire, and strengthen communities. And that's exactly what you're going to see here tonight. I'm your host, Lucy Stoole, the bearded beauty of Chicago, and I am so glad to be a part of this event. I think it's amazing that ViiV has found this super cool way to bring these artists together to talk about something that's so important, not only to our community, but to the world, especially right now. So here's a little bit of what you can expect tonight. We for sure will be bringing our community together, sharing inspiration to show you some of the most exciting and innovative ways that ViiV's Healthcare's grantees, partners, and friends are using arts and culture to connect and strengthen communities impacted by HIV. We're going to see some amazing performances tonight, which I am extremely excited about. We're talking dips, duck walks, lip syncs, glamours, and words of wisdom from amazing people inside of our community. And then we'll travel virtually and drop in on artists in Texas, Atlanta, and of course, my home city, Chicago. So go ahead and buckle up and let's get ready for that first act, everybody. First up, we have a visit to Task Force Prevention and Community Services right here in the beautiful city of Chicago. Task Force provides HIV and STI testing and services on the west side of Chicago and throughout the city. For 10 years now, they've also operated a drop-in space for LGBTQ youth called the Vogue School. Get out your highlighters because class is in session, y'all. Let's go.
I am the legendary Nala Khan. I'm known for the pop, the pizzazz, the class, and my cunty stuntiness. Ain't no big boy out here doing it like me. I walk between Vogue film, sometimes big boy performance, sometimes runway, sometimes drags. Vogue to me is an expression of oneself. It could be whatever you're going through, your hurt, your happiness, whatever it is, it's just something that you can push out and just let go at that time.
I am the up-and-coming legend, Jessie Ebony. I am known for duck walking, hair performance, and death drop. Vogue to me is expressing yourself with moves, emotion, showing expression, seeing how everybody came together that was like discarded or disowned. They all came to this one place to have a good time where they express themselves. And I feel like that's something I want to be a part of.
I am Henny Dame's barmaid. I love to like Millie rock while I'm voguing because it just shows like how hood I could be while I'm still doing something gay and something so free, and I'm just like, oh, what's up? Yeah. Voguing is very much so a place where I can be really unapologetic and just be the true bad bitch that I am. If you're a true dancer, voguing is a different outlet. It's like a therapy treatment, like seriously. It's not just physical movements, it's mentally movements too. One day I'm gonna be a girl, I'm gonna be a girl. One day I'm gonna be a boy, I'm gonna be this masculine man that you never think would like put on a pump. And one day I'm gonna be this gay boy that like have a tube top. I'm just never gonna abide by the rules. I'm always gonna make my own rules. And still remain true to myself and still show love.
My name is JoJo Ebony. They known for me to be dramatic. So anything dramatic, that's what I'm known for. The death drops, 360s, you name it. Vogue to me mean like expressing your inner feelings. Some people vogue to release feelings that they don't let out on a daily basis. And some people vogue for fun.
They call me Ta, aka the King of Twists. I'm undefeatable. I got moves that people can't do. And I'm just the shit. I bring it. Vogue means to me art. Like if I was mad and I ain't have nothing to do, I Vogue down just to get the stress off of me or whatever I'm thinking about. Just to let it off. Walk a ball, go out there, try to win.
Oh my God, y'all. What did I tell you? Tens, tens, tens across the board for everybody that was just up there. That is so beautiful to see. I tell you what, I know that everyone has been enjoying watching Legendary on the screens lately, but there is nothing like being able to see actual Vogue performances in person like this. So that is so cool. I'm so glad we got to see that. I am so excited to welcome Demario Adams, the program manager at Task Force, who oversees the Vogue School. How you doing, Demario?
All right, I'm all right.
So glad to have you here with us today. I have a little question for you. I was wondering if you could tell us, how does the program work and how is it impacting HIV?
Well, the Vogue School here in Chicago is like our largest resource. It brings participants all over North, South, West, Southeast, and it gets us access to a lot of adolescents that we typically wouldn't have access to. Also provides a safe space where they can express themselves, they can dance, we do yoga, we do all type of different programs. But we also have a host of other resources like housing, linkage to care, HIV testing, STI testing. We have a food pantry that we partner with other organizations that come out and they donate. And so we give a lot of resources back to our youth and our participants.
That's so amazing. And how do you think the Vogue School enhances the services that you provide to the community?
Well, we all know like Chicago's a big city. As big as it is, it's really, really hard for adolescents and people of color, brown and Black, to find resources. So when it comes to getting tested and being aware, it's like we offer all of those to our audience that typically wouldn't be able to get care or links to.
And it's so awesome that I feel like they may like sometimes come in just to like have fun or a party and then actually be met with like these resources and these connections this way.
Exactly.
That's so cool. And that's like really how you make those connections with the community and the younger people. So like, I think that is so dope. And like, thank you so much for the work you're doing with these dancers. Like we can see it paying off. They are heating up the dance floor. And I hear that you brought us one more little gift in the form of a dance battle. Like, what should we know about this battle?
Well, in ballroom, we know it's a competition and they battle. So we have like a little mock ball where, the cons versus the Evans, but they're just going to battle it out.
That sounds amazing. Well, I can't wait to see it. And thank you again, Demario.
No problem.
Okay, baby, we've seen it now. That is how you need to battle from here on out. I want to see everybody on the floor competing, winning, thriving, not just surviving. Okay. That was so amazing. I'm so glad that Chicago got to show off its talent like that. So I'm wondering, Demario, if you can tell me a little bit about like the history of like Chicago Vogue and how the Vogue kind of ties into the community.
Well, if you ask me, Chicago, we have the best Vogue. We do everything right, big, we're the best. People utilize the Vogue School, they come here from all over. So all these people come here and like, so they learn. And it's like, I look at Chicago as being like the Mecca. For me, it's like, it's like everything we do, we learn and we elevate. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the Vogue School, it's an essential part of Chicago. But one of the things that we value about the Vogue School is that, there's no limits to what you can do. You can come here, like you can learn the elements. Everyone know the elements of Vogue. Like you could come here, you can vogue your heart out. People will teach you, people will walk you through the steps. That's what ballroom is about. Ballroom is about family. I know everyone has watched Paris is Burning. Everyone has seen Legend. There are so many movies, but when you actually come in and you see the kids in depth, learning these things, doing these moves, expressing themselves, it's like, everyone dramatic. Everyone is soft and cunt. There's so many different variations of Vogue. It's like, just to sit back and watch them express themselves, you'll be lost in trance just by doing that. One thing, and then afterwards, like you said, it's like, I've seen people come and didn't realize that, there's a food pantry next door.
Yeah.
There's so many different services that you could come here just because your friends say, "Well, come on, let's go watch such and such Vogue." Typically, we would have never been able to reach by doing typical outreach or doing these things, but word of mouth is powerful. And we know this for a fact. Being in the field, we know that, once one person says something, that's how word travels. So when you bring a new face in and they find out, well, I'm homeless or I'm staying with my friend, and they've realized that there's services available, like those are audiences that we typically wouldn't reach. That, now the Vogue School is serving a purpose for the community.
Absolutely. And also listening to what the community needs and wants and brings into it. That's amazing.
And Lucy, you should come down. You can come down and support us. Chicago's such a big city, but we're not a big city.
Yeah.
I mean? We can use anybody, wants to come. It's open to all, not just Voguers. We got a runway. We do yoga classes. We have ping pong tournaments. We do everything.
Hell yes. And it's been so great to learn more about y'all. And I absolutely will be doing more of that. Thank you so much, Demario. Up next, we're going to keep this party going by heading all the way to Texas. Drag Out HIV is a training program for drag performers to become HIV testing and prevention advocates. That makes so much sense to me. Here we are, the beacons, also known as the clowns of a part of our community. We should be out here being able to do those sort of things. It originally started in the Rio Grande Valley. Drag Out HIV trains performers from across the country. Let's take a look at the latest Drag Out HIV Institute participants.
Our freak show, come meet my monsters. Oh, que aunque llore te pida y te implore, no vas a volver. Yo tampoco tengo nada que sentir, y eso es todo. That you're honestly thinking of leaving me. I can't believe that you are making a fool of me.
Oh my God, did you see all of those amazing performers? I cannot wait to get down there to check all of them out. Like I said and touched on a little bit earlier, I think it's super important as a drag performer or anyone that has some sort of platform where people pay attention to what you say or at least tune in to hate on you every little bit, to actually try and use that platform to do some good in the community, to at least inform some people who may not know the answers that they're looking for or try and point people in the right direction. All right, now I'd like to welcome the woman who started it all, Queen Beatrix. This queen is a community organizer and activist from Texas who uses their drag as a platform for justice on the Texas-Mexico borderlands. She's the creator of Drag Out HIV, the one and only Queen Beatrix. Welcome.
Hi, Lucy. Oh my God, it's such a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited. Greetings from the Rio Grande Valley.
Oh, you look so beautiful. Thanks for dropping in, darling.
You know, just took a little trip to Mars. I'm back on planet Earth.
Oh my God, I hope you brought me back something special.
There's always something special. I'm super happy to be here. And yeah, it's such a pleasure to meet you also.
Ditto, my love. And like, yeah, there is always something special, and that's you. You are that something special. Now, to ask you about Drag Out HIV, why did you create this program, and what have you seen it accomplish so far?
So this program was actually created to replicate the work that I was doing in the community as an organizer and as an activist. 6-7 years ago, I made the conscious decision to intentionally use my drag as a platform for advocacy and just addressing different issues impacting the queer community in South Texas. So, you know, I was actually working at the time at an HIV clinic, doing testing, offering prevention services. And so I was known as a drag queen who worked at the HIV clinic. And backstage, you know, at every gig, people would always ask me questions about, you know, where can I get tested? What should I get tested for? People asking about timelines and all important questions that actually they could have if they walked into one of our clinics. But because there is a lot of stigma around HIV and getting tested, this project really, the goal of it was to empower and to educate and to bring together other queens in the community so that they could learn more accurate information and more precise information about like what's available to people in the community. So it's been such a blessing. A lot of the work that's been happening has really been about connecting the queens, not just our own HIV advocacy, but all the other intersecting issues that have to do with HIV, right? When we talk about immigration status, when we talk about people's gender identity. And so these are all conversations that are really important to making sure someone is whole and present as much as they can be in this world. And so through Drag Out HIV, we've been working not just at the local level, right? We've seen groups in Oklahoma create their own version of Drag Out HIV. We've seen other queens in Dallas, and even I think right now we're kind of fielding some questions, you know, some inquiries, some other groups across this country that want to replicate this program because it meets people where they're at. And we've been really lucky to, you know, partner Drag Out HIV with the National Latinx HIV Conference that happens every year. It's sponsored by Valley AIDS Council and a bunch of other organizations. And we've been able to have this institute, right? I think it's the first one that we do where we kind of put a nationwide call for any queen who wants to kind of participate in this kind of project. We offer resources, we offer training and workshops, everything from how to organize to how to tell your personal story, on top of giving them all the resources they need to talk about HIV accurately and in a way that is relatable to them. So, you know, some of the performances you saw earlier were some of those queens who took that initiative to say, you know, I want to be a part of this. I want to be someone who is an agent of change in my community and use all the beauty of drag to inspire people to get tested, to know their status, and to just be healthy and be responsible.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm like, that is it. And that is the absolute tea. And like we've talked about so much in these conversations, like finding out that way to like build that bridge in whatever way you can to start to be able to connect people in your community that are underserved and bringing everybody in and like to the table and making sure that everyone is being taken care of head to toe, inside and out. Like, that's so fantastic.
Yes.
That's so
fantastic.
Fantastic.
One of those things that like, especially down here in South Texas, we have to deal a lot with machismo, with homophobia, and all these, you know, toxic masculinity and all these negative vibes that basically make it really hard for people to even just come out and be themselves. So if we can meet them where they're at, and if they're at the clubs or they're at the gigs, you know, it's better to have these queens just be able to just say the things that, you know, people could actually get in our clinics. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, we want to meet them where they're at and get them the information that they need so they feel empowered and ready to make choices that are responsible to them.
Absolutely. And I think that sometimes some of us in the positions that we're in can kind of forget that there might be someone in the club who that night out is like their one time around queer people for the month, you know, or for however long a time, you know, that is their only instance that they actually get to connect, and to be able to actually be in those spaces and hear that, or even hear that, you know, they have these resources at this place that can help them and answer questions, like that can be very vital. So that's super important to use like any platform and any chance we have to make sure that we are saying and doing whatever we can to help.
Yeah, and if we can look fabulous while doing it, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Even better, right? So we're going to go ahead and cue up this performance from Queen Beatrix, y'all. Let's tune in. All right. And y'all just saw that performance clip from Queen Beatrix. Are you in love like I am? I know you are. Thank you again so much for being here, Queen Beatrix.
No, thank you so much, Lucy. Thank you for all the work that you do for creating opportunities like this for people in our communities to have these conversations at a bigger level. So super happy to be here, and I'll see you on the upside.
Yes, you will. I'm going to come find you sometime soon, girl. I got to see this in person. Okay.
It's all real. See you soon.
See you soon, love. Bye-bye. Oh, that was so great. I'm glad we got to drop in and have that chat with her and see that amazing performance. It's just so inspiring to see people all over country picking up this work and doing the real work inside of the communities to make sure that people are taken care of. As we've seen in the last year and a half, how we've seen how vital it is to make sure that we're taking care of each other and helping each other out in whatever way we can. So cheers to Queen Beatrix and all of the people that are out there making sure that people are informed and know where their resources are and getting the help. And cheers to ViiV for like helping make events like this happen and encouraging people to do more inside of their own communities. Up next, we have a performance from United Black Elements Vogue Academy, and they came to slay, honey. Let's go.
Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this.
Everybody stop.
Like this.
Dallas, I see you. Y'all really did come through with the performances on there. You know what? There is absolutely a 10 across the board for all of y'all. That clip was not just fierce, though. It actually came with a story if you were paying attention. Those dancers are all connected to the Vogue Academy, a program at Dallas Resource Center's United Black Element, which is an empowerment program with a drop-in space for Black same-gender loving men. The Vogue Academy is a space for the ballroom community to come together, socialize, support, and motivate each other. Vogue the house down and also have fun while being connected to sexual health resources and educated. You see how everyone's making this connection? I'm excited to introduce Director of Empowerment Programs at the Resource Center, Jalinsky Brown. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, it's so glad to have you here. Look at you on the beach and you decided to drop in for a little bit with us.
You know, I decided to bless y'all with my time a little bit.
I appreciate it. You look so gorgeous. Like I needed to see some sun and glowing skin like that.
Thank you.
Now, Jelinski, you are the director of empowerment programs and the co-director of HIV and STD prevention and treatment services at the Resource Center. The Vogue Academy, from what we hear, is one of UBE's most popular programs/activities. So tell us, what is the bridge between this gorgeous creative work and HIV prevention and care?
Well, I'm so happy you asked. So before I get into more about the Vogue Academy, let me just talk to you a little bit about United Black Element and who we are and what we do. And so United Black Element was founded in 2009 as the first adaptation of the empowerment project for the Black community. For those who don't know, the Empowerment Project is a CDC HIV evidence-based intervention designed to reduce HIV transmission amongst young people throughout the United States and wherever the program may be implemented. And so at United Black Element, we were the first adaptation to outreach to the Black community. And so we work with the community where we have a core group. So the core group comes to us and, we work with them to, see what do y'all think that we can do to solve HIV? What can we do to mobilize the community around HIV and get creative with the solutions? And so we're very fortunate to have a great group of individuals throughout the years that's always kept us on the pulse of the next innovative thing to get the community connected to HIV sexual health resources. And so in 2014, the community asked us to hold space for the ballroom to come together and practice. So it started out as just a monthly thing, and then it kept growing. And of course, I love ballroom and I love Vogue. And so anything that I can do to clear the calendar and clear the space, we're doing it. And so ended up growing to a weekly thing, which, it's still to this day is every Friday, of course, COVID and other conditions permitting, the community comes together, Vogue the house down, and it's a great place for also to get connected to sexual health resources, that the community may not otherwise be connected to outside of, us. And so it's a wealth of prevention services and education that we can connect them with. And so anything that we can do with empowerment or United Black Element that is fun and attractive to young people, we like to explore, and we really tap into our creativity and the community's creativity to get creative on how we deliver HIV prevention, because not everybody wants to just talk HIV, right? Some people don't want that to be the headliner. So we make fun the headliner. We make the creative good stuff the headliner, and then we connect individuals in the community to the sexual health resources as necessary. And so we like to think that we want people to sex as they desire, just sex responsibly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cannot agree with you more. And just something that keeps coming back into my mind that you said during that conversation is that you listen to the community. And that is so important. And what I think that a lot of people miss out on, they try and tell the community what they should be doing or how they should see this or perceive it or what they want. And y'all actually listened, and it brought more people in. And that is so important, Jelinski. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
And thank you so much to the Vogue Academy again. Y'all are so brilliant. Ooh, can't wait to see more. All right, y'all. It is time for our final destination, and we are popping into one of my favorite cities in the world. I actually just left there not too long ago where I was doing shows with some of the girls. It is fantastic. You all know it. If you haven't been there yet, make sure to check it out and support it. The city, Atlanta. It is my favorite spot. I'm telling you, if I ever leave Chicago, y'all can go looking for me there. It is just so fantastic, so full of so many Black people. I love that. You may not have that everywhere. And I just felt such a part of the community in drag and out. It's such a beautiful place to be. So first up is the film Colors on the Wall from Thrive Support Services. Let's take a look at it now.
People were dying. They didn't understand anything about the virus. I was losing friends left and right. You go out to the club and you say, well, where's so-and-so? And there's just the assumption that if they weren't there, that they were gone.
It doesn't matter if you are gay, straight, transgender, white, Black. We are all one. And if you cut us, we're all gonna bleed the same. My name is Achim Jeremiah Howard, and I've been thriving with HIV for 9 years.
My mission became to make it okay for other women, to show that there were straight women, there were women who weren't drug addicts, who have been affected by HIV. My name is Linda Felix, and I have been thriving with HIV since 1986.
I thrive by letting the next person that's sitting in my office know that it's life after diagnosis. And I can share that with them because that's when I experienced life.
Freda Jones, I've been thriving with HIV for 18 years.
I had 4 T cells, I guess, for 5 years. And I used to go around saying, I got 4 T cells, but them some ninja bitches. They kicking ass. So my name is Nathan Townsend. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I was diagnosed with HIV in 1984.
I actually driving around 285 looking for a telephone pole to wrap my truck around. Because I figured it would be easier for my parents to say that the brakes give out on a truck than it would be for my son. Because at that point I thought I was dying. My son died of HIV.
My name is Will Francis, and I've been thriving with HIV since 2009.
So even as I age, living with HIV, I've come to realize that I used to think that anything that went wrong with my body, it was HIV related. But then I had to realize that when you're getting older.
I'm Kevin English Taylor, and I've been thriving with HIV since 1988.
I wear my age as a badge of honor because the little heifer told me when I was diagnosed that I'd probably be dead in 10 years. And that was, like I said, 6 years ago. I'm still here. Nine years later, after being diagnosed, when I finally presented myself at the infectious disease clinic, I had 75 T cells.
Wow.
But that stigma of being diagnosed with AIDS means that you're going to die still exists today. That's why a lot of people don't even want to be tested. They don't want to know if they have it.
So,
which is crazy to me.
Which is crazy. That's why it's very important for people to see the work that we are doing. It's important I think it's important for people to be open with their diagnosis.
Yeah.
I think it's very important because people get to see a different face
and see how
HIV.
The work that we've done has led to 2 healthy, fine sisters sitting here. Okay? Got a whole lot more in the tank.
I've been working in the field of HIV for almost 20 years, and I've seen so much silence. And so I want to be the face for those who can't speak, who are afraid to speak for themselves.
When I was diagnosed, I was told that I was the only trans man that had HIV. Wow. So at that time, I felt alone. So my mission is to bring awareness that anybody could get HIV. It doesn't matter who you are, what spectrum of the rainbow you come from, and to do away with the stigma, as well as to educate.
All of the progression and advances with medicine helped us to live longer, but didn't show us how to live longer. And so it's one of my missions is for all of us to stand here and say we are survivors, but we're surviving well and we're thriving well, and so can you.
I don't think I'd be the woman that I am today if it wasn't for my diagnosis. I can truly say my diagnosis grew me up to become the woman that I am today.
If you have HIV, you can live positive. Yes, you're gonna have some bumps and bruises along the way. There will be some challenges, but you can live with it, and it's not a death sentence as I thought it would be.
It's marginalized people. We know how to survive. We know how to survive the streets, we know how to survive relationships, we know how to survive financial woes, but what we don't know how to do is thrive. And I think that what we really are sharing today is that we acknowledge that you can survive, but we want you to know that you can thrive as well.
Yes.
And it's so much better, it's so much different. Don't just survive, thrive.
Wow, that was very powerful. It's full of so many powerful stories and powerful people showing you the world that we can create and how we can be doing better and how we can continue to thrive and not just survive in these situations. I am so happy to welcome Malcolm Reed, Director of Programs at the Thrive Support Services, to tell us more about this project. Welcome, Malcolm.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us. We are so happy to be here. First of all, I want to say that Thrive stands for Transforming HIV Resentments into Victories Everlasting. Yeah. And obviously you said support services. And our project Griot is designed to give voice to that transformation.
Now, I know that Thrive Support Services creates and shares films like Color on the Wall to better document and share Black queer stories in the South. What is the narrative you all are trying to put out in the world?
Well, our mission is to achieve health equity for Black same-gender loving men living with HIV through direct support, advocacy, and building collective community power. But the overriding message is that we can live and thrive with HIV. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that not only Black same-gender loving men, but all people living with HIV, especially people of color, especially Black people, have the information they need, have somebody backing them, the advocacy that they need, the linkage to care that they need. But most of all, we want to kick stigma in the ass. We want to make sure that you aren't walking around mad at yourself because you've got this thing, because you can be healthy, you can live, you can thrive. I have been living with HIV since 1997. I just turned 64. I feel good. I look wonderful. Thank you very much. And that's the overriding message that we want to send through Project Griot and through everything we do.
Absolutely. And we see that, and we are so happy to hear that. Like we were talking about earlier, the stigma around it can keep people from connecting to resources or even just being able to like have these conversations around it. And seeing so many beautiful Black queer people sitting there and having these conversations was just, you know, a big thing in and of itself.
Correct. You know, a griot is a class of traveling poets, musicians, and storytellers in West Africa. A griot is a West African historian, a storyteller, a praise singer, a poet, or a musician. And a griot is the person in the town or in the village who had the repository of the entire history of everybody there. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to make sure that we were doing justice to that word, justice to that title. We wanted to make sure that we were telling our stories. You know, Colors on the Wall is about 6 older people 50 and older, living and thriving in the South with HIV. So in this film, we have 2 Black, gay, cisgender men. We have 2 cisgender heterosexual females, 1 Black man of trans experience, and 1 cisgender heterosexual man. We also did have, when we started the film, we had a woman of transgender experience, and unfortunately, she got ill during the film and couldn't complete it. But we wanted to make sure that we were inclusive of what we saw in our community. HIV doesn't care whether you are straight, whether you gay, HIV, you know. And besides that, when I was asked to lead this project, one of the things that I had to do was at least include a cisgender female, because Linda Felix that you saw in that clip is my best friend. Me and Linda have been friends since the 80s. And I watched her go through her HIV journey. She was one of the first people that I knew that was living with HIV. And as a gay man, that had a profound effect on me. So I had to make sure that I told that story.
And I'm so glad you did. And I'm so glad that you are so conscious of making sure to include everyone's voices and stories inside of that. It's something that all of the world really needs to see. Now, can you tell us how you've shared these films so far and the difference that they've made, or that you've heard they've made?
Right. So before I go there, let me talk about the first film that we made, Outrun the Sky. And that was a film about 5 younger Black gay men in the South. And in that film, we that was pre-pandemic. So we could get on airplanes and go places. Remember that?
Yeah.
And so we did live screenings in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Miami, Atlanta, and then we did a live screening at the USCA conference in Washington, D.C. That film is now out on YouTube. We don't charge for it. We just want people to see the film and hear the story. Yeah. For Colors on the Wall, we did Zoom screenings because we filmed the entire thing during the pandemic. We did a screening on World AIDS Day 2020, and then we did screenings for National Black HIV Awareness Day in 2021, Women and Girls HIV Awareness Day, and also Long-Term Survivors Day in June of 2021. And that film is out on Vimeo. So, if anybody's interested and they want to see it, please reach out to me, malcolm@thrivess.org, and we will send you the link, and you can go out there and watch it, share it with your community. We just want everybody to see the film as much as possible.
Absolutely. And we want to help in any way. So if we can stick that in any link or share that in a message, we will try and do the same thing. That was the first one, Outrun the Sky. And then the second one is the one that we just saw here today, y'all. Colors on the Wall. Thank you so much again, Malcolm, for joining us to talk about this and all of the work that you are doing in the community and with Thrive Support Services.
Thank you so much for having us once again. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you again, Malcolm.
All righty.
All right, y'all, we are closing out our show tonight with an absolute legend. She is a literal icon, a showstopper, and here tonight just for us. Hold on to your wigs, gals, because it's the incredible Stasha Sanchez.
Baby.
my God, I will never get over seeing Miss Stasha Sanchez perform. She is a regular here at the Kit Kat Lounge in Chicago. If you're ever around and she's in town, make sure to pop in and make it rain on her. She is as lovely in person as she is on that video. I can promise you that, y'all. I am so excited to welcome the one, the only, Stasha Sanchez. Welcome, love.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone.
All right, we spent some time tonight celebrating how art breaks down stigma and brings us together, and especially in ballroom. As a former house mother, why are the families created through ballroom so essential? What have those families meant to you?
Well, I think that it's very essential because, first of all, ballroom is something that you're living out a fantasy, right? So when you're living out a fantasy, you seek for things that you want to experience, but you're not really sure if it can be your lifestyle, in the reality of it all. So a lot of ballroom kids, they come into the scene and they're looking and seeking for something that they may not have gotten from their biological family. So they seek for houses and then mothers and fathers to teach them the way of the lifestyle, especially about ballroom and just like everyday life. So I think it's very, very important. It's very essential because we have so many kids out here that come into the scene or maybe have been kicked out by their parents. And being kicked out by their parents and then coming into a space where they don't think they can find that love again. And then they find it. And they find it in ballroom, And it's beautiful when you can bond with someone that you met along the way and they become your child and you learn them, you love them, you appreciate them. And it's important that you learn them because you want to be able to know what they like and they don't like, what makes them happy, what makes them sad. So it's very essential that you have these relationships and create these amazing families in ballroom. These families meant the world to me. Just being in ballroom, I've run across so many amazing people, talented people that warms my heart. Like going on Legendary and being there with these amazing, talented kids. It was just so beautiful to witness, to see a new generation come in, and not only just take heed and listen to me and trust my opinion on things. It was just beautiful. So it's amazing. So it's very, very essential that these families are created in ballroom because we get to learn each other, we get to love each other, and we get to live a life that, we probably never thought we would live, but we would get to live it with people just like us.
Stasha, it was so great having you here and being able to chat with you. I cannot wait to see you perform live again. Please take care, my love. Everyone, give it up for Stasha Sanchez.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Wow. Did everybody enjoy the cabaret tonight? I know you did. I know you can't really answer me back. I'm really just talking to myself about it because I know you enjoyed it. It was so beautiful to be able to see so many amazing performers and people all across the world bringing their art to the stage and also being able to influence their communities with that art. I mean, I think that's so dope that we are able to build these bridges with these things that we love to do and be able to get people to pay attention in these ways and bring information into all of the houses, into everyone in a way that they respond to and they're able to connect with, because that's what we should be doing. There is no need to be trying to force this information that no one, wants to hear or see in that moment when we know that we can bring it to them in a way that they will respond to and that they will accept. And that, they'll be able to remember, hey, I know someone or I know someplace that will have an answer for me if I don't. And that's, one of the most important things that we can be doing right now, especially me as a drag performer with this platform and big mouth I have. I should definitely be using it towards good. Thank you again for everyone who tuned in today. And I want to say thank you again to everyone who was actually a part of this today. Demario at Task Force Prevention and Community Services, Queen Beatrix from Drag Out HIV, Jelinsky from UVE Resource Center and Vogue Academy, and Malcolm from Thrive Support Services. And definitely last but not least in any way, the wonderful, the iconic mother, Stasha Sanchez. We should really take it on ourselves in whatever way we can to make sure that we are leaving our community in a better place and that we are helping out, you know, in any way, because even the smallest way can make a really, really big impact. And these amazing performers and these organizations that are right here in the community and making these connections and building these bridges and helping not only the children, but the adults and the seniors with, you know, living fully formed, beautiful lives is what they deserve. So thank you again to ViiV Healthcare for creating this event and giving me this beautiful opportunity to be here and meet these people and see these performances and learn about these organizations. So now that I can also help, you know, whenever I'm out or if someone has any question, to try and make, you know, the world and our lives a little bit of a better place. I wish you all the best and, you know, love each other, wash your hands, and support your local drag queen. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.